Hey guys, this is Echo Soundworks, and you're checking out my walkthrough of my new sample pack, Tropical House Drums. So I wanted to do this video for two reasons: to show you with some more depth everything that's included in the pack, and then talk about some of the cool bonus items. So here's what you'd look at when you open the product. You'll see the user agreement, the artwork, the demo, and the folder Tropical House Drums. Before we get started, I wanted to discuss, well, what the heck is Tropical House? I have seen there's usually two sides of on this debate on the internet that I've seen so far. It's people who like Tropical House and are interested by it, or they might have heard of it, but they don't really know. And then there's people who just don't think it exists, and they think that, like myself and other people, are literally just making this up to sell products or to do tutorials, and that's not the case at all. I did not invent Tropical House, nor did a sound designer. Thomas Jack is actually credited with coming up with this genre, and he is a producer slash DJ. So Kygo is another really prominent tropical house producer. Really, it's a type of house that's slowed down even more so than house. So it's probably one of the slower genres of EDM to catch on in recent times. Tempos range from anywhere from about 95 to upwards of 115. It really just depends. You can do major or minor, so it's really open to interpretation, which is cool. But you'll typically hear tropical elements. Maybe it'll include things like a ukulele or a pan flute or some type of interesting sound, and the percussion, which is more relevant obviously to this video, definitely has its own flavor. The kicks aren't super subby, they're not super aggressive. Your snares aren't as important in this genre as it is in other genres of EDM. They're more there for percussive, syncopated, rhythmic kind of grooves, and it's not going to be on the boom, ka, boom, ka. It's not going to be, kick, snare, kick, snare. There's claps, finger snaps, a lot of percussion. The percussion is a very important part in Tropical House, which is kind of cool. Gives it more of a syncopated feel. So there's a quick crash course in Tropical House. Check out Kygo or Thomas Jack if you're curious. Anyway, let's jump into what's included in this pack. The first folder you'll see, excluding the bonus here, are the claps. And I had a lot of fun recording these samples. My friend, who is a percussion he's a drummer and a percussion player, a percussionist, whatever the proper term for that is. We went to a percussion / drum store here in LA, and we got a bunch of cool little like shakers, rattles, wood blocks, all that sort of stuff that we could layer with our samples and use them to make the percussion samples. So the claps in this pack will range from layered to kind of one or two claps together to even a little bit of an analog flavor with some of them. So I'll play a couple for you. All right, and then there's a subfolder here of Reverb Claps, which is a really typical thing to do in Tropical House. Basically, it's just your claps with a lot of reverb tail on it. So there's a finger snap. All right, now moving down the hi-hats, we recorded some closed hi-hats and some open ones. Now, some of these were created on synths, and some of them are actually sampled from a real drum. So it really ranges from really analog sounds to acoustic. Analog, obviously. A little bit of both. All right, analog. And then there's some acoustic ones further down below. Same with the opens. With the open hi-hats, it'll range from an analog type sound to more. That's a legit real hi-hat with some reverb on it. All right, so the kicks. We got 20 different kicks here. A lot of them have different percussion elements layered in with it that you can hear there. So there's a sleigh bell on some of them, just different things. The percussion folder, we'll go there next. We have 39 bongos. We have 23 random percussion hits, the things that my friend and I got at that drum store, and we have some tambourines. So what we did for the bongos, when I started doing this, we just started sampling, one-off hits. And then when I tried putting that together into a track, it didn't work as well. The feeling wasn't right. So my friend who plays the bongos, the percussionist, we had him play some different grooves at some different Tropical House tempos, and then we chopped those up. and included a lot of the chops. So when you go to create an actual groove with these samples, they fit together better. And we did this thing where every other sample for about the first 10 samples is the dry, which is hit pretty hard, and then maybe the wet, which is a little bit lighter velocity, which has some reverb on it. So there's reverb, no reverb. And so it's really nice to kind of have those two to layer together when you're trying to create realistic sounding grooves. Some of them are pretty wet with different reverbs and effects on them to give it more of that tropical house feel and not just like a straight up bongo that you'd hear in, you know, like jazz or spoken word poetry even. So let's go on to the percussion folder. These are just random little things, you know, with random hits. Like I said, we got a bunch of different things and just kind of went nuts sampling, and we have a couple tambourines. Now going down to the snare folder here, you have the snares. Like I said, they're going to be more accents than anything, things to layer with the clap, or even just snares you can use on offbeats. Now we did get some nice tropical ones here. So it has a steel drum with it. I think 18 and 19 are interesting. Yeah, so there's some cool, like I said, really interesting samples, not things that you'll typically hear in other sample packs for this. And a lot of these will work with other genres of house as well. All right, let's double back to the bonus folder. That's where a lot of the fun things are at. The first folder you'll see in the bonus folder is the drum kits. There are 5 drum kits that we used in the demo, basically stemmed out. So if you are new to tropical house, or you're just new to production and you want to get more of a grasp on creating drum grooves, this is really cool. This is a really cool learning tool. So here's the full kit. All right, we stemmed out each element. So if I drag this into my DAW, and these are just audio, you can import the tempo. So this was done at 105 beats per minute. This is going to be the bongo groove. And that effect that you hear, a little cool tip and trick, it's sidechain reverb. Give it that swell. Just create like a bus in your DAW, throw on some, or sidechain that into a compressor and have that key into a reverb. Or if you use the LFO tool, you can just LFO tool and then reverb. All right, and then B is going to be the next element. So let me pull in element A again real quick. All right, so as you can see, you can use those to kind of learn how things are programmed, or just use them in your tracks. That's why they're there. I will play the full kit here from Drum Kit 2, and all these sounds you hear in the demos are obviously coming from those sample folders, so you have everything. So that one's really cool. So yeah, some really cool things. And we also have some just random percussion loops, different things that you can use, chop up. Just anything that would spark the creative process for you guys. All right, let's go back now. Now here's the really cool thing that we decided to include. I hate dragging and dropping into my DAW to create my drum grooves unless it's just like a kick and snare. I find it really difficult to create a realistic sounding drum groove with hi-hats and percussion in a DAW, and I don't like doing all those automation edits for velocity. So what we did was we created a Kontakt kit and a battery kit for our percussion and our bongos. So right here you have, let's load this in to Kontakt 5. And you need to have Kontakt 5 or higher for this to work. Just drag and drop. And now you'll see in Kontakt, tons of different bongos and percussion samples. So what that does, and these are velocity sensitive on your keyboard, so I have a keyboard off to the side of me. it allows you to actually create some realistic sounding grooves. And for those of you who do not use Kontakt, we included a battery kit as well. So I'll show you what that looks like. We have 2 battery kits. We have the Bongo kit and we have the Percussion Kit. So just drag those, drop them into battery 4, and it looks like this. Right? Just tons of different samples. These orange ones here are stuff that I pulled into this kit because they come with the battery library. They're just fun to have on this kit. But yeah, all the blue ones are the ones that came in the pack. But again, it makes creating your grooves really easy for your tropical house songs. And there's also the Percussion Kit, which is just everything that was included in the percussion folder. All right, guys, that sums up this walkthrough. If you guys have any questions or comments, let me know below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you for checking this out, and definitely check out the audio demo to hear what this kit or what these kits and samples are capable of. So thanks for watching. I will see you next time.